So it's 3 a.m. again, and I've been watching Orange is the New Black, and that has absolutely nothing to do with what I wanted to talk about. I figured I would talk a little bit about my gaming history, because it's one of those things that I have a tendency to tell a lot of people over and over again. And so, like I said with my vlog, the first episode of my vlog, I wanted to tell some stories that I find myself repeating over and over again. But anyways, my gaming history. When I was probably around 4, 5, 6 years old, somewhere around that age, when I was really young, I remember having a Super Nintendo, and I actually still own that Super Nintendo. It's somewhere in my house at the moment. Fortunately, it does not work. I said unfortunately, by the way. But anyways, my first games were like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, which, by the way, is my favorite Zelda game. I had this game called Hyperspace. I had Lion King. We had a lot of games. Technically, it was my parents' Super Nintendo, but I played it all the damn time. And one of my oldest gaming memories is of me and my dad playing Street Fighter against each other, and me getting so frustrated because I couldn't beat him. And then finally one day, I actually managed to beat him, and I was so elated. And I beat it with Cammy, too. And Cammy's my girl. You can't see my wall back there, really, but I have a poster of Cammy. I can't zoom. It's that one right there in the middle. Poster of Cammy. It's actually someone an art print. But anyways, yeah. So that's one of my oldest gaming memories, and like I would play video games all the time since then. Like I would come home and I would play like Hyperspace, and I would play like The Lion King, and oh, excuse me, I play Zelda. And like I said, it's 3 in the morning. I didn't take a nap today, and I'm fucking tired. And I really should have gone to sleep like 4 hours ago, 4 or 5, 6 hours ago, but I didn't because I don't know why. But sorry, my eyes look weird. After that, like, I just had that Super Nintendo, and I mean, I had, like, tons of Game Boys. I remember having every single Game Boy up to the Game Boy Color, and then after the Game Boy Color, like, I had the original Game Boy, and the Game Boy Pocket, wow, I don't even remember what the Game Boys are anymore. Used to be able to name it. Didn't have a Game Boy Color, I don't know why. I had a Game Boy Micro, we had the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, had the DS Lite, and what else is there? We didn't get 3DSs, but I got a 3DS XL, and then I got my sister a 2DS. But yeah, so I had a lot of Game Boys, and I played tons of games on handhelds. I also had a Game Gear, which got stolen in kindergarten. No, not kindergarten. I think it was like 3rd or 4th grade. I brought it to school to show it off. I mean, that was my problem. That was my that was my bad right there. I brought it to school. Brought it to school to show it off, and I played like NBA. I think it was like NBA Jam or whatever it was on the Game Gear. I played Jurassic Park, and I can't remember exactly what else I had. I just remember those 2 games as being ones that I really played a lot. And what else was there? And then I also played I also had shit. I don't remember what I had. Oh my god, I actually feel that. That actually kind of makes me sad. But anyways, I remember just before, I think it was probably 4th grade, because I remember it was before I moved, and we moved when I was in just before starting 6th grade. we got our first computer, and I started playing games on the computer, and I played like educational games and things like that, and then I started playing Flash games, and from there it just kept on climbing, and like I went to, I ended up, I can't remember what my first MMO was. Actually, no. It was Phantasy Star. And I got really nervous. I installed the game, I created my character, or whatever it was. I got in the game, and then I immediately, I think I ran somewhere, and I couldn't really figure out what I was doing, and I closed the game. And never played it again. But, yeah, after that, I think, there were, like, a lot of free-to-play games I ended up playing, but one of the ones that really, like, I will always remember is As a Story. As a Story was the game that I met a lot of my close friends in, and, like, we ended up coming together as a guild, because I played in the beta, and then when the game went live, we all, like, joined together, made a guild and everything like that, and, you know, we hung out, and we ran stuff together, and yeah, a lot of stuff. And then, between the beta and the live release of As a Story, I played this other game called Project Powder. And I met a few people in Project Powder too, and oh my god, that game was so much fun. Like, I remember playing SSX Tricky before on PlayStation 2, which I had, by the way. I ended up having a PlayStation 2, we ended up having an Xbox, and we ended up, well, at one point I had a GameCube, but, like, my friend had bought a GameCube, and then she gave it to me, and then she told me that one of our other mutual friends wanted to borrow it, and so she borrowed the GameCube. She took the GameCube, she took the Zelda, Collector's Edition that she gave me, the one that had, like, Majora's Mask and the demo of Wind Waker, and, she took my copy of Wind Waker, and I never saw it again. But, yeah, I played Project Powder, which was really similar, which reminded me a lot of SSX Tricky, and I got super good at that game. And, like, there's even this joke I have, and I don't know if he ever sees my video, or my vlogs, or anything like that, but my buddy Xiao, we played Project Powder together, and we kind of have this joke involving Fishhawk. And I can't even remember exactly what the joke was anymore, but I just remember that there was this move in Project Powder that you could do that was called Fishhawk, and we used it a lot, and somehow it ended up turning into this joke with involving Fishhawk. But anyways, I ended up meeting a lot of people in that game as well, and I was super competitive in that game. It was crazy. And I ended up not playing it, like, when it went live, none of us could really go back to play it, like, it was nothing. I ended up becoming friends with, like, some of the admins and the GMs and stuff like that, too. It was cool. But I ended up getting one of my buddies who I played that game with, I played Project Powder with, to join us in As a Story, and he was my soulmate, because there's this whole soulmate system. Look it up if you want to look at it. It's not As a Story anymore, it's As the 2, but it's the same damn game. But anyways, like, they kind of, like, opened me more to the world of, like, free-to-plays and whatnot, because now I had more people to play with, and so I ended up, like, going off and playing a whole ton of free-to-play games, and, like, I've got, I think, if you were to count all the hours I've played in just MMOs alone, I probably have well over 10,000 hours played since I started playing MMOs. My highest, like, what's the word I'm looking for? The highest amount of hours I have recorded as played so far in an MMO has been Ion, and that was the game that I ended up meeting, like, I ended up meeting a lot of other people in that game as well. But they're, like, the guild that I typically run with. Like, they're not playing WildStar, so that's why I'm in a different guild than WildStar. But I've followed them through I followed them through 3 games, but our group that is the guild has gone through probably around 6, I think, or something like that, like MMOs. Like we all, a whole bunch of us play other games together too. But like that's kind of like the typical side. Like you look at me, it's like, oh yeah, she probably plays, like if she plays video games, she probably plays MMOs. I mean, I talk about MMOs a lot, but then I was taking a break from MMOs for a while, and I ended up, like, I started playing FPS, like, pretty hardcore. Not, like, to the point of, not hardcore to the point of, hey, let's go do competitions, but I started getting really good at FPS. I was playing Counter-Strike. Well, it started off with Left 4 Dead, and then I was playing Counter-Strike with some people, and I ended up joining this clan, and I will save this story for next time because it's kind of a long story, and it has a lot of stuff that goes into it. But anyways, I ended up joining a clan, and I played with them in Counter-Strike, and then I ended up leaving the clan, and then I ended up playing with just a few friends in Left 4 Dead, and I went really serious in Left 4 Dead. Like, me and my friends were getting to a point, like, where we were getting almost every single 100 pounce that we would ever do would be a 25-point pounce. Super sneaky, smoker pulls, and it was just, oh my god, it was so good. Like, I got really good at that game, and then I stopped playing, and now I suck at the game. Like, I'm absolutely horrid at the game. But then, like, I mean, like, I did good as the survivors as well, too. We were really serious in the game. And then, you know, like, I was playing stuff like, I played a lot of Steam games. Like, I played TF2, I played Portal. I love Portal. Portal is one of my favorite games. Portal and Portal 2. I enjoyed both of them, and they're amazing. But yeah, and I don't discriminate against consoles either. I think I've probably mentioned that. I don't know. But, you know, I play a lot of PC games, but I also play console games, because I mean, like, I have my PS4 sitting on my desk. And then the Xbox, I think the Xbox One is downstairs. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I've had a lot of experience in a lot of video games. And it's kind of funny sometimes when I tell people stories about it, like, just the fact that it's like, hey, you know, the one game that I have the most hours tracked in is Ion, and they're like, oh, how many hours is that? Oh, it's just 2,000 hours. Like, it wasn't that bad. And they're like, 2,000 hours. And I think Rift was the next one after that, at least according to my Xfire. I don't have it open right now. And then I only played Counter-Strike. Like, I played Counter-Strike for a year. Like, not even a year. It was, like, within 1 year that I started and stopped playing Counter-Strike, and it was all because of that stupid stuff with the clan. But I had, like, over 400 hours tracked in that game, and then similarly with Left 4 Dead, because some of the people that I was playing Left 4 Dead with, we ended up going to MMOs together. Left 4 Dead, I think, has like 600 hours, according to Steam at least. But shit, what was it? Yeah, like I have a very diverse, like, some of my favorite games, like I said, Portal, and then Bastion, and Borderlands. The Borderlands series I absolutely adore. And you can kind of tell, just looking through my Let's Plays and stuff, and just, like, seeing what kind of game I play in my Let's Plays, you can see how much diversity that there is, amongst my tastes. Like, I've got, like, MMOs, I've got Borderlands, I've got Bastion, I've got Remember Me, which is also a really good game. Like, I actually really enjoyed that game. I know a lot of people are like, whatever. But yeah, like, and when it comes to my MMO history especially, I've played every role. Like, I've done it all. I tank, I DPS, obviously, I heal. I used to heal. I used to be a pocket healer. I used to only heal. But you know, sometimes it just gets tiring not being able to do things by yourself, and you know, I don't want to stay out there for an hour just trying to kill one thing. But yeah, I mean, I've played a lot of games. I've met a lot of people playing games, and I don't know. I guess a brief history, brief history of my, me and video games. I guess you could say. I don't know. It's 3 a.m. and I guess I'm not totally thinking straight. I should stop making these videos super long. But yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell. I like to, I'll end it with this. Sorry, I'm stuttering so much. I'm so tired. But anyways, I'll end it with this. For the most part, if you suggest a game to me, I will probably enjoy it. Like, honestly, it's more of a matter of, like, put the game in front of me, or, say, like, it's suggested to me, like, oh yeah, this is a good game, blah blah blah. I'll probably play it, and I'll probably like it. I don't discriminate, really, and I mean, like, there are faults and things, and, like, I'll say, like, oh, well, I didn't like this about the game. Overall, for the most part, I like pretty much every video game. And, you can tell how much I like it by how long I end up playing it. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end it here. On that note, if anybody ever has any games to suggest to me, honestly, let me know, and I will do what I can. Thanks for listening, until next time.